Now we all know that Christmas Day is the 25th of December, at least in Western Europe and for all Christians who follow the Western Rite, whether Catholic or Protestant. But do you know when the year celebration officially starts and ends? Christmas is a much bigger celebration than many people realise. Some start celebrating too early, so that by the time the 26th of December comes, they are so exhausted that they just want it to be over. Which is a shame, because it's only just begun. Let's first of all take a step back a few weeks and look at Advent, because that is a season in its own right. It is the season that precedes Christmas, and it is important that it does precede Christmas, because the spiritual focus during Advent is different from that of Christmas. It's important not to allow these two seasons to merge into each other. Now, Advent always starts on a Sunday and contains 4 Sundays. So to work out when Advent starts, we start with Christmas Day, the 25th of December, and count back 4 Sundays. Advent finishes on the 24th of December. During Advent we do 3 things. Firstly, we prepare our hearts to celebrate the great feast of Christmas by prayer, fasting and abstinence. In this way it's a bit like Lent, though not as long or intense. Many people go on retreats during Advent, such as the one here, presented by Archbishop Ronald Gilmore and Jacqueline Lowe, the founder of Grace That Reigns. Now note that this retreat is about waiting and learning to hear God's voice in Scripture, the Church, and in the people around us. This is a good example of the kind of retreat to attend during Advent. Secondly, we focus on the events that led up to the first Christmas. A central character is obviously the Virgin Mary, the mother of Jesus. On the 8th of December, Catholics celebrate one of her feast days, the Immaculate Conception, in which we see a sign that the reign of original sin over mankind was coming to an end, and it came to an end in Jesus himself. The readings at church tell the story of the events of her life, from the visit of the angel Gabriel, Joseph's dilemma in finding out that she was pregnant, her visit to her kinswoman Elizabeth, and her journey with Joseph to Bethlehem. Another central character is John the Baptist, who was the last of the prophets to herald the coming of Jesus, the long-awaited Messiah of the Jewish people, and now the Messiah of the whole world. Thirdly, we focus on the second coming of Jesus Christ, when he will return as King and Judge. We prepare ourselves for that final judgment day. There are a number of hymns and carols that we sing during Advent, such as those about John the Baptist, or the appearance of the angel Gabriel to Mary, or O come, Emmanuel, which uses many names for God from the Old Testament: Rod of Jaci, Desire of Nations, Key of David. These names express the longing of the Jewish people for their coming Messiah. Another saint we remember during Advent is Saint Nicholas, or Santa Claus, as he is often known by his Latin name. Santa meaning saint, and Claus being another form of Nicholas. Santa Claus lived during the 4th century, when he was the Bishop of Myra in Lycia, which is now in the province of Antalya in Turkey. Myra was where Demre or Kale is today. Santa Claus is particularly associated with the incarnation of Jesus because he fully understood that, although Jesus was a man, he was divine in nature. Claus was present at the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, which is where the Nicene Creed came from. This creed contains the words about Jesus, true God from true God, consubstantial with the Father. Santa Claus feast day is the 6th of December. Over the last couple of centuries, some interesting legends have been made up about Santa Claus, about how he descends from the heavens and delivers presents to all homes throughout the world. Now, legends are fine in themselves, but most legends mask a truth that is more important and relevant to our lives and our existence. At Christmas, it was God himself who descended from the heavens, and it is he that we welcome into our homes and hearts at Christmas. This is the real Christmas story. So now, let's focus on the Christmas season. Christmas Day is a solemn feast of the Church, second in importance only to Easter, which is the feast of Jesus' resurrection. At Easter, we commemorate and celebrate the whole purpose of why Jesus came. But at Christmas, we commemorate and celebrate his incarnation, which was the beginning of this mission of salvation. Because it is such an important solemnity, it begins during the evening of the 24th of December, known as Christmas Eve, and lasts for 8 days. Although we call the 25th of December Christmas Day, each of the days during the octave of Christmas is also a Christmas Day. This celebration, which lasts until the 1st of January, is the time to get together with family and friends for Christmas parties and feasts. Many people sing Christmas carols and decorate their home during this time. It's really beautiful to walk along a neighbourhood street and see so many homes decorated with lights and colours during this week. People like to give presents to each other as a way of celebrating the occasion and to express the love that they have for each other. We greet each other with Merry Christmas during this time. The Sunday during this octave is the Feast of the Holy Family, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. It's a time to consider our own family life and to use the Holy Family as our role model. Also during this octave, we celebrate the feast days of some of the martyrs who died for Christ. The holy innocent children were slaughtered by the jealous King Herod, who was hoping to kill Jesus, but they died in Jesus' place. We also remember St. Stephen, who was the first disciple to be martyred for the faith. And for the English, there is the feast of St. Thomas Becket, the Archbishop of Canterbury in the 12th century. He is the patron saint of Catholic priests in England. St. John, the beloved apostle, also has his feast day during this octave. The Christmas octave concludes with another feast of Mary as the Mother of God. So, that's the octave. But Christmas hasn't finished yet. The celebrations continue for another 5 days. Twelfth Night, which is mentioned in Shakespeare's play of the same name, is the night of the 5th of January, and this precedes the Feast of the Epiphany, which is when the Magi visited Jesus, because they'd seen his star rising in the east. These were the first Gentiles to look for and worship Jesus Christ. In some places, the Epiphany is celebrated on the Sunday between the 2nd and the 8th of January, but for the rest, the Epiphany is on the 6th of January. And that concludes the first season of Christmas, but it's still not over yet. The second season of Christmas then begins, but this is much shorter. It's still a time to celebrate the Incarnation, and this season concludes on the Sunday following the 6th of January with the feast of the baptism of Jesus. So, there we have it, the official time to celebrate Christmas. And I wish you a Merry Christmas. Rejoice.